we must bring Kieran Mathew inside of here, goated operator of the one and only Equip Foods. They have done many things, especially in the grass-fed beef protein area, and now bringing so many kind of interesting products to market. There was talk on the feeds as of late, maybe an Equip ice cream would come forth. Who knows? Who knows? There was talk. There was talk. It was proposed. We must bring the man himself inside of the show. Everybody, welcome in here, Kieran Mathew, CEO.
There he is.
Thanks for having me. I love this generous applause.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are deserving of it, Kieran. We do our best. We got to give you the best.
I didn't realize you had a live audience right in front of you this whole time.
Always. Yeah, they're just right there beyond the camera, just right there behind here. Anyway, they do their part. They do their part as well. Man, we appreciate you making the time to join us, brother.
I appreciate what you guys are doing for the space. It's been fun to follow along. I know Anthony was on recently, and
he was.
He said I had to hop on as well. So grateful to be here and excited for the conversation.
Let's go. Kieran, I have, of course, I've known of you guys. We had Anthony on recently. I've known of you guys for some time. Man, my understanding is that, Equip now has scaled very significantly while keeping a pretty tight team. Somewhere in the teens of employees and such. Is that the case?
It is, yeah. So we were what I would say pretty under the radar until last fall, just because our branding was pretty antiquated. It hadn't been updated since 2017, but we were growing and growing profitably. The goal has always been profitable, sustainable growth versus growth at all costs. Anthony and I had bootstrapped the business until about June last year. And that's when we ultimately decided to also push forward a brand refresh, which was much more indicative of who our customers are, why we exist. And it also just gave us the confidence to push more on top of funnel and let everybody know that we're here, why we're here, and where we're going. But the big piece of that is just it unlocked retail as well, as our packaging just was not retail ready. So that's kind of like the single biggest strategic initiative for us this year is launching retail, but really treating this more as a marathon, not a sprint, not trying to be everywhere all at once, trying to find the right strategic partners that are ready to lean in with us and just really nail velocity everywhere we go from day one. But we do have a very lean team in this sort of like AI age, and also this age of overseas talent. I think 5 million in net sales per employee is completely sustainable in this category, and it's something we've been able to sustain and continue to sustain over time. So I'm not optimizing for low headcount in isolation, because I just don't think that's the right thing to optimize for. I'm optimizing for operational efficiency and building a profitable business, and that efficiency, just the low headcount is a function of that efficiency, not something that we're just trying to achieve in isolation.
That's unbelievable.
That's incredible, man. I love that kind of marker. That's really good. Go ahead, Colin.
Well, I just want to talk about the Prime bar for a little bit. I mean, it is the first ever grass-fed beef protein bar. Could you walk us through that formulation and, possible supply chain issues that you might have had, and that stuff you have to crack in order to ship that out? I mean, that's no small feat.
Yeah, let me just tell you kind of why we're here in the first place. It's really to set a better standard in the supplement industry, which is just inherently dirty. And the deeper I dive into this industry, the more of a kind of nihilist I become. About 58% of supplements are underdosed. About 1/3 of supplements that are sold online don't actually have what's on the label in their SFPs. So we're just trying to ship a really delicious, well-sourced, transparent product, essentially. And our entryway into setting that standard is with this grass-fed beef protein powder. So whey is a derivative of the cheese making process, typically processed with hexane and other harsh chemicals. Not all whey is processed that way, to be clear. There's a lot of amazing products out there. And a lot of people are just lactose intolerant. And then plant-based protein comes with its own trade-offs as well from a bioavailability standpoint. as well as just fermentable carbs that your gut cannot fully process. So we landed on grass-fed beef. Anthony did more accurately, and I teamed up with him about 5 years ago, and it's been a wonderful partnership. But the way we make our product is using bone and meat. So you get the benefits of collagen and gelatin, about 5 grams of glycine per serving, but you also get the benefits of complete protein. That's something like a bone broth or a collagen powder in isolation is lacking. So we were selling powder for the better part of a decade, and we knew our customers wanted bars. But from a food science standpoint, it's a larger technical challenge than putting whey or milk isolate in a bar, because whey and milk isolate bind well to other ingredients. Collagen and beef protein do not very well. So it took us a long time to get here. We tried once, honestly, 2 years ago and failed. And we also shipped a bar that wasn't quite at the ingredient standard that we wanted. There were some soluble tapioca fibers in there. There was a sunflower lecithin. And I personally don't have any issues with those ingredients in isolation. But of course, if we're trying to set the standard, we need to do better than what's currently available on shelf, not be at par with that. So we did a bit of testing there, got a lot of amazing feedback, and then spent another 16 months after that test developing this bar that we launched last June. We are really proud of what we put out in market, but we also simultaneously recognize that there's still tons of room for improvement. So we just launched a new and improved form of that bar.
Really?
Well. It's little things just like texture optimization. The first one is a bit chewy, too chewy. The flavor pops more, no ingredient changes. It's really just like a manufacturing process and input plus or minus change, and integrating a little bit more water content, etc. So that was a bit of a long-winded way of saying it was a tough process to make the bar. We still think there's more room for improvement, and we're going to constantly chip away at it. It's a harder food science exercise than putting whey and milk isolate in a bar, and we're sort of the first to do it, aside from like pemmican style savory bars, which we weren't super excited about. So that's the gist.
Well, Kieran, I think that taking this hard path and the mission, like the mission behind the machine here, I think to me it seems like your audience, your customers, man, it resonates with them. And even though it's harder to do and it takes longer, and there's a kind of a deeper core to, yes, we want this, and we want it from these people because of how they go about this and the way that they view the world, the way that they view bringing products to market that are good for us and good for humanity in general. It seems to me like the reception for these kind of products and the path that you take to get there, man, it resonates really well with your audience, and the success comes from that. Would you agree?
100%. I mean, yeah, we really lead with why and make sure that our products are really well aligned with our why. And if we ever think we're at risk of shipping either a B tier product or a product with B tier ingredients and or a product that just doesn't test well, one of the biggest things for us is testing for microplastics, molds, mycotoxins, heavy metals, pesticides, and sharing those results transparently with our customers. So it's not only taste and ingredient quality, but also the invisible toxins that have found their way into our food supply that we're trying to transparently share with our customers so that they just know what they're putting in their body. And the combination of just transparency and being thoughtful about what we're putting out in the world has definitely resonated with our customers. And the single biggest reason we've been able to grow by like almost 80x, honestly, over the past 4 years is because of our retention. I mean, not all revenue is created equal. It costs a lot of money to acquire a customer in 2026. And the retention piece is just so critical. It's why Groons has done so well. It's why Mars Men's doing so well. That subscription revenue with high LTV just really compounds to allow you to tolerate a higher customer acquisition cost. And we're as focused or more focused on that retention as we are acquisition. But it really starts with product, in my opinion. It's not it's not an abandoned cart flow exercise.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that, and ultimately we have to lead with product. So that's what we're trying to lead with.
Kieran, 80x is significant, brother.
Flex. Absolute flex.
That is significant, man. That
Crazy
is
flex.
wild. That's
I
wild.
appreciate it. Yeah, we've been very fortunate, and there's a ton of tailwinds. I mean, animal-based is trending.
Yeah.
Processed plant-based foods are declining. So really amazing team, great tailwinds. Trying to make sure we sustain this as we diversify into retail now. Launched Sprouts 2 weeks ago. We've got about 3,500 more doors opening before the end of the year.
Come on, bro.
More to come there. So just really honestly need to make sure we nail that, as we can't show up there and not drive velocity, but we're excited.
You know, I just double click on this briefly. I totally agree with your thesis on, hey, we need to do brand refresh because we want to crack retail. Brother, when I saw this brand refresh, I was like, dang, man. I was actually working on some branding at the time with a specific company. I was like, dang, I just need to copy them. Is what I need to do. I just need to copy this and put it in a new category. Man, that look that is, you know, it's gosh, it feels so Americana. It feels so in a good way, like I'm rolling back to yesteryear and I'm eating real stuff that grandma would have made for me, that would have, you know, had me working all day long and living like a healthy young man. You know, that look, whatever that is, I mean, that has got to be a big piece of you guys' continued push and success and moving inventory inside of doors.
100%. Yeah, we have a lot of conviction in what we're putting on shelf and our ability to stand out and communicating flavor in a way that is not literal was really important to us. And just, we believe the packaging feels warm. It feels warm. It feels differentiated. It feels timeless. And that's what we want to communicate. That's why we're formulating our products, or how we're formulating our products, like simple, timeless nutrition, wholesome nutrition. So we do feel like the packaging is just inherently aligned with the products we're trying to put out in the world. But it took us 4 agencies to get there. So I have to give kudos to Anthony. It was the better part of 2 years. We terminated 3 different agencies before we landed on this. So it was an expensive exercise, but yeah, kudos to Anthony, because he's really excellent at never compromising on product quality, but also on things like design choice. And there were a couple parts of that process where I was like, I'm getting a bit antsy here. Anything we ship is going to be an improvement on what we had before, which was like generic GNC style branding. But it's good that we held out, and we're really excited by what we're shipping now and for this retail chapter too.
Incredible, man.
Could you talk to us a little bit, you know, about you personally? I've heard, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you're on a 1,000-day plus meditation streak. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been a core part of my routine for many years now. So my consistency does not ebb and flow, but the duration in which I sit for does ebb and flow based off of how much I'm working. Spend a lot of time running when I'm not working too. So yeah, it's honestly just a critical part of my day. Helps me feel a little bit grounded. I think this serves me, and also the downside is I have a hard time celebrating wins, but like I don't get too high on the highs and I also don't get very low on the lows. I'm kind of just at this relatively steady state. So I do need to go to my way to try to celebrate wins a bit more effectively with the team. But I do credit some of that, or a lot of that, to just that daily practice of realizing how insignificant what we're doing is, but also caring a lot about our customers and just caring a lot about the products we're putting out in the world. And I think both things can be true at the same time. We're not sending men to the moon. We're not building data centers on Mars. We are shipping beef protein, but a lot of people care about this product, and it helps a lot of people with a consistent daily routine, and we shouldn't take that for granted. So it's important to me.
That's incredible.
You seem like steady.
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 Locked in.
Steady, locked in, consistent. Like that. What you got on here? That's oh yeah, steady. Still water.
found
Well,
enlightenment.
I'm going. The energy on this in this room right now is elevating that a little bit. But
All right. and you know, this probably became useful, Kieran. I would imagine, not just for so many other things in life, but you know, when Anthony's going through that third or fourth agency there to crack this retail packaging, let's keep it steady here. Keep it steady.
Yeah, had to take a few deep breaths there. Certainly, more frustration than not. But yeah, it just goes to show that patience is key in some circumstances.
Kieran, you know, not that you have to go, you know, open kimono here or anything, but I think what seems to be the case is that, man, you guys are dialed, listening to your customers, you know, bringing forth, you know, the best products, you know, inside of a space that is genuinely sullied with problems. Oh, supplements don't even have it, etc. Man, is there anything that, you know, your customers are crying out for, you know, that maybe there's been some thoughts, some considerations about?
Absolutely. So I will say we're building this with our customers. Every time we ship a new product, we get out 150, 200 plus samples of an R&D unbranded product to our customers. We survey them, we talk to them, and it helps mitigate risk that we're not going to spend millions of dollars on a new innovation that our customers, at least 150 customers, hopefully are going to go and buy it. So they're building this with us. We have a huge roster of affiliates. That's a key driver for us. Same thing. They're a key part of that R&D process. And we also take their ideas very seriously. So one thing that's come up with our customers over the past 5 years is that they've all been consistently sneaking our protein powder and now bars to their kids, as it's just something that they feel really good about putting in their kids' bodies, and they can give their 6-year-old son or 7-year-old daughter a chocolate milkshake, which just happens to be packed with 20 grams of nutrient dense beef protein. And the kids are actually like calling for it and asking for it because they think it's great. So one of the big things that's coming for us, you're the first to hear it, I think, later this August, is a kids line to do exactly that. Basically, shipping nutrient dense grass-fed beef protein that is formulated specifically for really ages as low as 4, as high as 12, with about a dozen organic fruits in there as well, so parents can feel good about getting their kids all kinds of vitamins and minerals that might be hard to sneak into their day otherwise. And that's going to be available in both powder and bars, actually. And I actually like our kids bars that are coming out more than our adult bars. So I might just start consuming those every day. Fun branding as well that resonates with a small mind like me. So I can't wait to get those out in the world. But it's been a cool process to see that through.
Incredible, man. I'm signing up. All my little ones are going to be eating that. Exactly. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
I think where we saw the market opportunity is that there are a lot of kids products out there. The majority have unnecessary processed ingredients to drive prices down. A lot of them are still relatively low protein, like 4 to 6 grams. And we know, I mean, I'm not a parent yet, but talking to thousands of our customers, that they're trying to give their kids more protein in a way that they feel good about. So we're trying to occupy this intersection of nutrient dense foods, only good ingredients, transparency on sourcing, because there's been a fair bit of concern around heavy metals in kids products, microplastics, etc. And we specifically sought out ingredients which we tested every single raw input, and we did RFPs for each raw input to make sure that they test well for all of these things, so that the finished good is as good or better from a testing standpoint as anything else in market. So, and then high protein using our grass-fed beef. We are also doing something in 2 weeks. We're publishing our first clinical trial, which has been underway for a long period of time, because a lot of the reason why customers come to us for grass-fed beef protein versus whey and plant-based protein is they just find it super gut friendly. And that's an anecdote we've been told for 5+ years. It's dairy-free, it's whey-free, packed with glycine, which is quite well researched to support gut health as well. So we were able to validate that in a double-blinded randomized control trial, and the results are quite compelling. I think I'm biased, so I'm really excited to share that with the world. But that's something we thought about as well for parents, is if we can ship something that's nutrient dense, high protein, tests well for all those invisible toxins, and also just leaves the kids guts feeling good, then I'm very grateful to be able to put that out in the world. So that'll be coming mid-August.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. I mean, in that same vein of trying to appeal to the kids and the younger demographic, and as well as Chris, is ice cream still on the table? Are you guys considering ice cream? We will eat all the ice cream in the world.
I will eat it all
if you make them. So just
So
saying, we're super
one of the most common use cases for our product is making Ninja Creamy ice cream with our beef protein, because the collagen and gelatin just makes for like a really nice, creamy, silky texture. I know when that was teased on our X account, Anthony immediately replied saying no.
Come on.
Yeah, we're trying to stay pretty focused because we think there's a ton of room to grow on the powder bars and now kids side, but never say never. Never say never.
Okay.
So
let's go. Never say never.
Let's go. We can taste test. If you need a blind taste test from two cowboys, we're here.
Oh yeah, we're happy.
I do seek out the cowboy approval, so I can add you guys to the sampling roster.
Boy, that's exciting. That is exciting, Kieran.
Let's go,
man. Brother, we love what you're doing, man. We love what you're doing, and the quality that you're doing it with. And I know we've gone 80x. I think we break open the kids market. We're adding another 0. We're going 800x from here, Kieran. Man, we look forward to having you back. Appreciate you dropping the breaking news on the show, and man, we can't wait to have it. We can't wait to have it. Give it to my little ones. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll make sure to get you some product. Appreciate what you guys are doing.